It's live, pal. Jonathan Majors had an acceptance speech at Hollywood Unlocked. Welcome everyone joining on the Chillmonger YouTube channel, on the Dre Max Show, and Pam Entertainment TV is in the BULDING. Tell the heifer that you can't stand that we're over here making these videos. We're about to react to the Jonathan Majors acceptance speech. I haven't seen it at all. Did you see it, Dre?
Nope. This is my initial reaction.
And Pam?
I've seen it.
It's good. 17 minutes of just fire.
Kleenex.
All right. So get your tissue. Get your tissue ready.
That's all I'm gonna say. Everything else, because I'll find something else to hear when I hear it.
Because everybody is saying they were in tears watching this speech.
Hey, in case anyone just met us, doesn't know who we are, during Jonathan Major's trial, and even before that, we were covering all of the shenanigans, and we kind of saw through the BS. So when there's a room full of people applauding him right now, we would love to be in that room, and we would be applauding him louder and standing ovation. That's who we are. And that's how we kind of rekindled with each other. I think I've already knew Dre before that, but that's how I definitely met Pam through that coverage of this. So us, our YouTube network and web of friendship and camaraderie, it's only right that we assemble here to react to this. Was he standing up early? Like they didn't call your name, bro?
Nervous.
Palms are sweaty.
And welcome.
Oh yeah, he's dating Megan Good. I keep forgetting Majors and Megan are dating each other.
That's what the M is for.
Perseverance Award. I love it. Joe Nathan Majors.
Not just she said his name like that, though. I like the way she said his name like that.
She said it like a Frenchie.
Yeah.
I like how Lauren Victoria Burke calls his name John
Majors. Yeah, she got me saying that. When I met her in New York, she was like, "Yeah, John," and I'm like, "Stop," because I'm going to say it when you say it.
Who else did you meet in New York?
Our good friend Lori Italiano.
Oh, that's cool.
We got to see our good buddy from the Rolling Stones, Cheyenne Whitetree.
Cheyenne Whitetree. Well, no, you got it right. Cheyenne Whitetree.
Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't want to mess it up.
What's happening right now?
He's got up there. She's consoling him.
She consulted him. Like she went to him.
Yeah. He got up there and started crying. He was crying when he got up there.
Yeah, he was crying.
No. She initiated this.
But just knowing who she is from all these years, that's mama. That's Hollywood mama. Yeah. And she was giving him that love he needed. Like, if you really think about it, look at all the stuff he went through.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know what I mean? So this was special. I seen it up to this point because I stopped it. I was like, nope.
Salute to my man right here who just stood up for that.
Yeah, clap for that.
Yeah,
he's
no
about
one else
to cry.
Yeah, everyone else will be standing too, bro. Like, yeah, look at him. He's so emotional down here. But yeah,
he's crying.
Jonathan's crying.
No, the guy down here. I don't know who that guy. Yeah.
He's crying. There she go.
Solid award. Let me bump up the volume. Is it too low or too high? Just let me know. Okay?
It's good.
I thought it was too high.
I noticed she talked to him.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I know what to say first. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Next, I want to thank our brother, Jason.
Hey, this is big for Jason, though.
Yeah, it is big for Jason. I remember like a year ago when Megan was single, he was doing an interview with somebody, and he's like, I have Megan's phone number. Yeah, I can call Megan. They called Megan live on air.
Yeah.
So I knew that Jason and Megan were on good terms.
What's his name? Was it not NL? Was it NLE Chopper?
It might have been.
Yeah, I think it was him. Because he said he had a crush on her.
Oh, okay.
I watched that episode. I watched that.
You have created a true lasting impact that has catalyzed change in our culture, in our world, etc., etc., etc. We need you, brother.
Yes.
I need you. We need you, brother. We thank you.
Just real quick, Phil. Just real quick. Remember when you said, and this was during our recast of T'Challa and all of that, we need more black venues, we need more representation, we need more places where we're accepted, where we don't have to worry about somebody else's award because we're presenting our people, our own awards. Jason is literally doing that, and he did it for Jonathan. So it's even above, to me right now, it's even above if he got an Oscar right now, because you're seeing your own people salute you where everybody else at one point, kind of fell by the wayside, So I think that that's big. I wanted to just acknowledge that.
I'm going to add on that. It's special. Right before we went live, me, Pam, and Dre were talking about Kendrick, okay? What he did in LA in that forum in Inglewood, and the people that were there, even though it's not the masses, and even though Drake has way more fans and everything, the value of those men and women who filled up that arena is significant and means more than any Grammy award or whatever award he can get musically from his peers, from the Academy. This matters. This is important.
And just to piggyback off that, watching what Kendrick did, bringing young talent onto the stage that they would not have had the eyes to see them. And, it's because of a beef, a diss tracks and stuff like that. But to see all those people in there, to see how all those young people just having a good time. And I said on another video, I sure hope they understand what a watershed moment this is for them in their city and for their specific style of rap. I hope they see what a wonderful thing that is. And that's what community, in my opinion, looks like. It doesn't have to be that you're out here passing out turkeys or anything like that. It's just that little thing. Seeing these, I'm watching these young people who are up here rapping and doing stuff. And, they weren't perfect. They didn't do anything. But it's the fact that people got eyes on them and they can see and hear what they're doing. And I think that, again, what Jason is doing is the same thing. You create your own things. You create what you want to be able to do because you see all these great talent out here and they need to be showcased. They need to be highlighted because we see what happens. Hollywood will bring you in and build you up and then break you right back down. And you need your community to keep you level-headed and even keel. But
that's what this is for. And a whole arena full of people clap. And you know what? Let's play as much of the video as possible with as minimal stops. We're still going to stop it, but it's a 17-minute long video. We're 2 minutes deep.
Woo! I'm a little nervous.
Take your time.
And I'm happy to be here. And I mean here. Like standing. And I am more happy and encouraged to be here with y'all. I reckon folks want to know about, this last year. As a black man in the criminal justice system.
Where else would you start?
I felt anger. I felt sadness. Hurt.
He hit me with that.
When they snatched me up out of my apartment.
Because they did.
In handcuffs, I didn't feel like all that. I didn't feel like Jonathan Majors, Mr. Creed, Mr. Kane. No, I felt like can y'all hear me okay? Let me speak up.
You felt like an N-word for just
like a little scared, weak boy. Despite the support and the evidence that was in my favor, I knew shit was bad.
He said shit was bad or she was bad?
Shit was bad.
Okay, I thought I heard she was bad. I'm gonna rewind that.
He said shit.
Bad.
Okay.
And it was bad because of who I was and what I am. And this is what happens to black people all too often. Guilt by innocence, often have little to do with the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
It's a harsh reality I learned. But I knew Black men face this every day. It deeply impacts us, changes the way we navigate through the world.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't no crop, but I'm gonna try to say it. We must persevere through injustice.
Yeah.
Perseverance means what? Perseverance means persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay. And the God I serve has put me in a position where I've had to embody that word more than I wished or wanted
to. This is not ABC.
We live in a world where men, Black men in particular, are propped up as either superheroes or supervillains. But I've come to realize, me personally, I ain't none of that.
Pam, I see you. Why? What's like? Do you have anything to say about this? Like, what is it? Is it hitting supervillain, hero, supervillain? What does that mean?
Well, even going back earlier about how you have to navigate this world and within this country, I don't think that there's anybody, any other racial group that has to sit down and talk to their children how they move in this world, how they have to watch what they say, their excitement levels or anything like that. Just even being in school and in class, other kids can be excited about something and laugh. You are a disruption if you do this. If you're too quiet, then you're plotting. If you're too loud, you're disruptive. If you don't, if you're smart, you're acting white. If you're dumb, you know what I'm saying? It's just and to for that to hit you. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You can be my age and you can be 5 years old. You can see it. It's some kind of look. And I can't describe this look. I can't quantify it, but you know it. You can see it. It's defeated. It's a defeated look. And it doesn't, when he said, I'm this person, I am a Yale trained actor, I am doing all this stuff. But in that moment, in his house, they made him feel like a boy. And I don't think people understand that. Who understands that? And it's just, it's sad, but it's a truth that we live in.
I would even give, I'm gonna tell you, because I was gonna talk about this on my live today before all the festivities came on in my house. I got pulled over Friday night leaving work, right? And for the first time in a long time, I was scared. Don't know why I was scared. I was just terrified. And I've shared this on my channel. I got shot at when I was 17 by a cop in a high-speed chase. You know what I mean? And that fear, even though I'm not 17, fear immediately came back. And the cop was super nice. It was a black cop. He was like, "Hey, anybody say you look like Tech Nine?" He was making it cool and it was all good. But that fear was still there. Even when I left, that fear was still there. I had to literally sit down because I remember being shot at by a cop and calm myself down when I got home because of the anxiety and all of that. And I don't think no other race of people is, have to sit down and go through that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but I'm saying it's far too frequent. You know what I mean? In our community. So I get exactly what Jonathan is saying.
And that PTSD got you right real quick. And then, that is, no one talks about that. And then we'll say to each other, "Oh, well, just suck it up. It ain't gonna be this." No, you see how quickly it hit you? You didn't know where it was coming from. And then after you sat down and you had to calm yourself, you had to realize, hey, this is back when I was, 17 years old. And we don't talk about those types of things. We put little jokes behind it. "Oh, you were just acting like a little punk bitch. Oh, you were this and that." No, that stuff is real. That stuff is real. If you've ever suffered from anxiety and depression and any of those things, those feelings feel like a heart attack, especially when anxiety hits you as quickly as it can. It feels like a heart attack. So I'm gonna
in your personal experiences can bring that to you, but then there's the collective experience. Is his name Roger Fortson, who answered the door to a police officer knocking and banging on his door, but then hiding outside of the line of sight for the peephole. Finally, Roger opens up his door. I think his name is Roger. I might have the wrong name, but he has a legal firearm. He is carrying it below his waist. It's not pointed forward or anything. But when that cop saw that, automatic guilt, fear, everything he associates dark skin with, melanin with, came into fruition, and he started popping him multiple times with no reason to do so. Everything, like, it's the fear and the, or rather the feelings do translate to actions, to murders, to, you know, to poor treatment, to arrests, to the sentences, to even convictions. It's not paranoia. It's true. It's real. It's collective also.
It is. It is. And can you and do you see how crazy that is? And I'm not, but that we have this collective anxiety that's in our DNA like this. And I mean, and like I said, you can see it in a 5-year-old child that probably has had never anything done, but there is just this look and it comes up. And then, but anyway, I'm pontificating. Let's continue.
It was fun. But I'm just me. Jay.
Did you guys call him Jay over there, Dre, when you guys were?
Yeah, we call him Jay.
You called Megan M?
No,
she was Meg.
She's Megan, just Megan.
I have shortcomings. I acknowledge them. I love my craft. I love my daughter, my family, my dogs, my workout buddies who came out here. Appreciate y'all. I'm just that guy whose faith has been tested and has been strengthened by this testimony, like you told me, Mr. Crump, at the Essence Festival.
Oh, that's Attorney Ben Crump.
I'll say this: there will be moments in your life where things get dark, and I mean dark, really dark. And I've seen them depths. I've seen that darkness in myself. I've sat in that pitch black, and what I've learned is that when you catch a glimpse of light, you run as hard and as fast as you can towards it. And I will never take that light for granted again.
And that light is making good.
Life for me has come in a couple of ways. In the midnight text from our brother Will Smith.
Salute to Will.
Let me know, hey, I'm thinking about you, man. Stay up.
Wow, man.
That's awesome.
Why are we both saying wow at the same time? Is it because I'm looking at who's supporting him behind the scenes? Where are these actors? Where's the love? He is getting love. Will Smith.
Oh, it's gonna get better.
Look, it's gonna get better. I asked him. You know what I mean? I legitimately asked him who is saying anything in public.
Glenn Powell, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, but obviously everything was on the back end. You know what I mean? And maybe some things don't have to be expressed. Maybe that's something that I have to learn. Is that I could be able to support you. It doesn't have to be public, but I can support you because look what happened. When he called me last Monday, and I made that announcement that Jay said, keep your ears to the ground. There's a lot of things coming. This is what he was talking about. He got this award, and then he had the announcement of his movie. So I'm not trying to get emotional my damn self,
but it's like a breath of relief. It's like okay, so there's some men in Hollywood who are supporting him.
They're supporting him,
and he's got a job with a producer who that quote from that producer, Christopher Tuffin, talking about how we can't let the justice system and I know just how messy it is, and we gotta let politics not interfere with artists and great art. It's an honor to work with Jonathan Majors. It feels like there is a world out there that is not the world that Variety was trying to spin. It was not very effective.
That's why they were spinning it so hard. That's why they were spinning it so hard, and they spin it so hard that people are quoting them, and then when you try to push these facts to them, like I did, I got blocked today. But
did you get blocked from the dude for Forbes? Because he blocked me immediately.
No, there's some other guy, there was some other guy who was on there, and he was spitting out some stuff, and then I think Kat was in there, and she was like, well, if you want to talk about the case, let's talk about the case. And I've been telling a lot of my mutuals on Twitter, y'all stop engaging some of these people because they're rage baiters and they want clicks and views and all this other stuff. And once you engage them one time and you talk about, just say, hey, would you like to look at a transcript? Would you like to have this information? You get blocked. But go on. But I was so glad to hear him say who were the people that were supporting him. And y'all, I was really glad to know that he left New York and moved out there to LA. I think his people, as far as support, there are more of them in LA than I think in New York at this time, because he was really with that theater crowd in New York. And right now he's into movies and you can do some theater. But I just think his people are over here in LA. And I think that Will Smith calling him up, texting him up, and letting him know that he was thinking about him is a wonderful thing. Because Will understands. We were hearing this way with Will 2 years ago.
Until his wonderful woman ran interference. Thank you, Jada Pinkett, Tupac Shakur, Smith.
We're not doing that, sir. This is a stream of unity and love. So he said that Will texted him at midnight. That must mean like midnight of March 26th, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Tyler Perry breathed life into me, just supporting and loving on people the way he does.
Megan got a movie with Tyler Perry, right?
Yep.
Yes.
It's coming right out.
Yes. So I won't be talking about the wigs, the Tyler Perry wigs. I'm gonna let that go.
I hope it's better than Mia Culpa was with Kelly Rowland.
I won't.
David Yellow and this whole group of threads. I think maybe some of y'all are on that thread. I won't participate because it's crazy, but I feel the love. Dion and Roxanne.
I wanted to talk about that David Aiello and that David Aiello thread. I don't know if you saw this big. David Aiello had some kind of party at his house. It was last year, but those people that are in, Nate Parker is in that thread, David Aiello is in that thread. If you see that picture, I can't remember where you'll find this big picture, but that's who's in that thread. These are the people that are in that thread that were talking and everything like that. And he is such anti-technology. He doesn't do a lot of texting and stuff like that. He's not in them text threads and stuff like that. I guess he sees it, but he doesn't type or nothing in it. But that text thread was very, very encouraging for him. Go ahead.
Sorry, on the side, I was looking for that picture with Nate Parker and Jonathan Majors. I thought Comedy Hype used that photo, and I was looking. Did they? They did, right? Yeah. I mean, it exists. Just, take our word for it. Is she muted or am I muted?
I'm sorry, I'm muted. But whatever it was like they were outside. It was bright. And there was like a whole lot of them. But those group of men are in that text thread, and they're doing a lot of different things. And I think I'm not going to even guess, but I know with David Aiello, he knows a lot of different people and a lot of different producers and directors and things like that. And I'm quite sure Jonathan Majors knows them as well. But I hear that he is very big about making sure that the people who he is around get in contact, and they have like a little group and community. So I'll go further on that later.
Okay. And I did find it. This was the photo. They're next to each other on this photo. Big group photo. You see it?
Yeah, that's from Comedy Hype.
Oh, I'm blocking it. There it is.
Yeah, it's a big photo because David Aiello is sitting up. He's standing up atop somewhere, but it's a huge photo.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the video now. Everyone, make sure to like this video in the downtime. In the time between me clicking and just getting the right screen up.
You're like, let's go out to the movies. No.
Dion and Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Gave me a office in a production office when I was walking through the desert feeling lost and crazy. Put a battery in my back, as he says. Courtney B. Vance has been with me from Lovecraft Country, my Uncle George, forever.
Wait a minute, Lovecraft Country, wasn't he just a mess on that set? You know, wasn't he like...
he was horrible. Remember, he had to do something.
Now, see, that is not. Let me just dispel something. There was issues and rumblings on that Lovecraft Country set, but it had to do with the showrunner than it did have to do with Jonathan Majors, from what I remember.
Nah, from what I remember, he's the reason there's no season 2.
Okay.
It's all Jonathan.
Yeah, it was all his fault.
It's all his fault, huh?
Right. And why Marvel sucks right now, according to Variety, is Jonathan's fault.
It's his fault.
That part.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
Who, me?
Yeah, you were gonna say something.
I was like, this all they said, if you all say it was all his fault, but what I remember was she was causing a ruckus on the set, because she was one of those people that's very persnickety. She likes certain things, and if you didn't get those certain things done and stuff like that, that is what I heard. But that was going on. I didn't hear that he had an issue or problem on the set. Now, again, that's what I heard. He's been on several sets and have not heard anything other than what someone said. He raised his voice at me.
You got it wrong, Pam. Remember, this is a 6'1" black man that was taking all the muffins during the set, and people were pissed off because he had bagels and muffins all to himself, and they couldn't get any, so they labeled him the big scary black man.
Period.
Period. Just tell me something.
Goldberg fed me and Megan one day when he wasn't hungry, but we was over there hanging out. And she breathed this light of wisdom and understanding and caring onto me and my queen.
I can expect him on The View.
He's about to make a tour. Trust me. When I tell you he's about to start making rounds, he's about to start making rounds again. Trust me.
Yeah. And when it's time to advertise that, he better be on the View.
Now let's understand the support of community. I appreciate all y'all. They are extraordinary people. I'm concluding because I feel like you're talking a lot. But I ain't said nothing, so I want to say some stuff. I once believed that I was self-made from the mud, made it out of Texas. I'm here. Come from where I came from, achieving what I thought I achieved.
I once believed.
This period of my life taught me, nah, that's not true, Jack. I'm not a self-made man. I am personally the result of mentorship, love, and investment of so many people. Like achievement, you understand, perseverance is a collective effort, okay? Built on the shoulders of those who believe in us.
Okay, I can see what he means.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in real quick right here. This is one of the things that I think it's so important for us to understand as Black people, because we get around and we think that we say, well, I'm self-made. I did all this work. I went to school. I went to college. I did all of this. And, and I pulled myself up with my own bootstraps, but you didn't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You have to think about we have to get back and thinking in about a community. Now, hear me when I say this. That doesn't mean that you have to support somebody who you truly recognize is not willing, that is not taking the support that you give them and doing anything with that support. What I'm saying is, y'all don't forget your mamas when they pack those lunches for you. Y'all don't forget your daddies when they get up at 3:00 in the morning, having to go to work those extra hours so that you can go to those violin lessons and do those things. Don't forget your sisters when they iron your clothes for you because they know that you got to get out here and do stuff. Don't forget your brothers that fix your bicycles or do whatever they need to do. This is what I'm talking about. Community.
Nah, I'm gonna forget my sister. Come on now.
No, don't forget your sister. Don't forget the lady down the street that used to put the $2 or $3 in your hand and told you, baby, this is some lunch money. Don't forget that preacher that told you about a certain Bible phrase or anything like that got you. Don't forget that first teacher that taught you something or really poured some stuff in you. That's what I'm talking about. Community, and it was very good. That made me cry. That's why I'm talking more, so I won't have to cry, because he understood that. He may have forgotten that. He thought he was self-made. He's out here, Jonathan Majors. He's a Yale graduate. He is doing all of this stuff. People are looking up to him and stuff like that. But don't forget those little bitty things.
Here where you come from.
That help you go along the way. You may not need those lunches packed for you anymore, but don't forget that those things were done because that allowed for you to do those different things. And that's all. That's just my mama. That's my Auntie Pam talk.
Yep. Don't forget the teachers.
The strongest shoulders in which I stand on today belong to the women in my life. First and foremost, and always first and foremost, my mama.
Hey, Mr. T at the WWE. Mr. T at the WWE Hall of Fame. Dre?
You said, wait a minute. I'm over here in this comment section. What you say? I'm sorry.
Mr. T at the WWE Hall of Fame? You remember his speech?
Yeah.
All right.
My mama.
Those who know.
My mama brought me into this world on September 7, 1989 in Longport, California on a military base and stood behind her 34-year-old son as she heard him say guilty. And when I turned back to her, she smiled at me and said, "It's okay, son. I'm on her shoulders." And second, especially, man.
She has been holding him down big time.
I love you beyond all limits. With all my strength. With all my heart, I love you.
I mean, that's a real tear.
No, it's almost making me tear up too.
Hey, when I talked to him, he said, "Bro, Megan's a real one, bro. It's all you need to know. She's a real one." So all of this, I'm feeling when we had our conversation. This is good stuff, man. I'm proud. I'm happy for him.
Wow, I love you. I'm supposed to be this tough and strong when you done carried me so many nights. I love you. Through the fire.
Now he's doing the singing.
My sister, my aunt, they know who they are. I ain't got but one. And all the women in my family lifted me up and reminded me, I'm gonna get out of here, and reminded me that you gotta persevere, boy, not just for you, but for our family, for our community, and for that thing you kept banging your head against to get good at. You gotta go do that. Yeah. You gotta keep going. Yeah. For your community.
Yeah.
And community, we have an opportunity to show out for him. The movie Merciless has a pretty small budget. It doesn't need to make much money to become a successful box office smash. That's on us to go to see that movie.
Disappointment is a hell of a teacher. It teaches you that what is divinely authorized cannot be edited or deleted. It demands that you move with a heightened discernment.
He preaching now.
And confidently abstain from what does not serve you. It can also give you with a bittersweet lesson about acceptance. I got snuck it up.
It's all right.
Hey. He's not self-made.
I've watched God work wonders in my life, hiding lessons in deep pain, and guiding me to heal. He has taught me that it is not about being flawless. It's about constantly learning and growing. Thank you. A lot of people don't feel worthy when their dreams come true. In drama school, they used to call that the imposter syndrome. I'd be like, no, I don't got that. I'm good. No, I had that. I got that. Guilty. But not accepting your blessing doesn't make you humble, you see. It puts you in opposition to God's given plan for you. Accepting your blessings and not losing the lesson when you lose. And standing strong gives everyone around you the permission to do the same thing. Come on. You can pick up the phone. Okay. Yeah. I'm almost out of here.
He done went Baptist preacher on us.
Have reminded me that there are people that you don't know that you impact every single day, just by breathing, existing, walking in your purpose, putting your little TikTok thing up. TikTok.
Man, stop it, Jonathan. Stop it. I want to say, man, I'm gonna shut up.
He doesn't have social media. He doesn't know.
No,
but sometimes, a post on Twitter is called a tweet. Like, so what do you call a TikTok? Is it a TikTok? He's just asking a regular question.
Yeah, it's a TikTok.
We got 2.5 minutes more.
Yeah.
So let me rewind there because I don't think I know what he said damn for.
TikTok thing up. TikTok. TikTok. Yeah.
Because he don't know. Come on, John.
That's a gift, y'all. All of us have that opportunity every single day. Perseverance is more than just pushing through tough times. It's about the people who inspire you, encourage you, and support us. It's about those who ignite that flame, that light, etc. within us that keep us going when we feel we can't. All right. I received this award not just as an acknowledgement that I have persevered, but as a command to be there for others and to help them when and if their trials come.
Hey, I bet Will Smith feels that way, and that's probably where that text message came from. I remember Robert Downey Jr. talking about how Mel Gibson kind of like was a mentor towards him. I'm not saying Mel Gibson 2 thumbs up or anything. I'm just saying that when you go through it, you can kind of see. Will Smith went through it, and Denzel was there for him at the Academy Awards.
Yes.
So he just passed it on.
And you're going what we talked about. I think we all talked about at one point in time on all of our channels, is that who is going to be that Mel Gibson for Jonathan?
That one person.
And Will look at everybody was talking crazy about Will Smith, and he went out in Bad Boys 4, made $100 million. But he still had Denzel, he still had the encouragement. And for Will to pour back into Jonathan is amazing. That's what you need, even though it wasn't public. You know what I mean? And maybe that was the best. As hindsight 2020, maybe that's the best, because they would have crucified Will Smith for just associating himself with Jonathan Majors at the height of where everything was going at one point before we got the video of the running and everything. You know what I mean? So it would have probably looked bad, but I'm glad he was still supporting him.
Will didn't need the video. He at midnight he messaged.
He did, yeah. He didn't need him. He didn't need anything. So that's awesome.
Icon.
Perseverance rests on the shoulders of many. I commit myself in these shoulders to our community, to my queen, to our industry, to our culture. And just to Ella, my baby girl. We gonna be all right. Your father loves you.
This is where he thanks Michael B. Jordan.
I love you.
It's coming.
I thank you for this. To be in this room with these great entertainers, these great black artists. Woo! It feels. Woo!
He know he's back. He know he's on his. He's coming back. Yeah.
Ain't no place like home. Thank you, Jason. Jason, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Oh wow.
I saw that too.
Yeah. I was like,
Sharon Stone.
You weren't ready for all that tail.
I wasn't ready for that.
All that tail.
I mean, obviously the cameraman was the MVP for just a moment.
Yeah, the cameraman, he ran it back.
The cameraman knew the assignment.
Yeah, he ran it back.
Salute to Sharon Stone.
Yes.
Tonight.
Because it could have been and thank you for Jonathan. All right, tonight now, guys. Let's talk. And then she was like, I support him too. Like no one buys this story. No one in real life.
Right.
It looks at that video of him running away. Run away, baby, for a man like you. And thinks that he was the guy who was guilty. They all read the little transcript. Shout out to Kat for paying to find exactly what she said.
Right.
And she, Stephanie, the girl he was dating, said, I hit him. I was trying to see what was on his phone. It was all me. We all know this. Like, the evidence is out there. And if you just care to look, you'll find that out. And you'll see just how innocent the man was.
And I think it's so important to point out that he had 4 charges. And the jury did not believe that he was inside that car whooping feet.
Right.
They did not believe that. It was that they did not believe that. And they had to, they didn't have to, but they just hinged on the fact when he picked her up and put her back in the car, they're saying that, somewhere, somehow she got hurt, but no one really knows when she got, I think when she.
Well, they were even running with the narrative that, when he put it back in her car, her head snapped back and the back of her head hit, the roof of the car. I was like, if that was so, then it would have been told in the transcripts when she talked to the cops. You cannot bump the back of your head and then all of a sudden your ears getting ready to come off or your fingers getting ready to look like ETs. So we all knew it was some bull crap at that point in time.
And the doctor was on the stand saying that there was no injuries at the top in her head. She had no bruising. She had no thing in the top of her head. So you knew that even with putting her back in the car the way he did, there was no injury to the top of her head.
At all. There was no injury.
I mean, if you respect facts, then yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The audio from the police body camera was pulled. Don't forget that.
Was pulled.
Don't forget when the driver was gonna do his testimony on that Friday. They said, "Wait, hold on a second before you." Do you know what the word objection means?
Yeah.
They didn't ask any other witness that question. Oh, yeah, you don't understand English. We need to get a Urdu interpreter. Let's get some other witnesses up here and go a weekend without having his testimony out there.
They then tried to dismiss his testimony because it said you can't feel. What did you see? Her doing everything, him doing nothing. That's not good enough for us. That's not good enough, Mr. Man.
So when Jonathan was saying over there, I felt like I got this. I'm fine. I win this. I'm gonna be not guilty. When he was saying that, it's because if evidence mattered, he would be not guilty.
Exactly.
We would listen to the driver. We would listen to Stephanie's testimony, and then we would listen to the driver, who was like a third party, who was not either or. He's a hired guy, but he's not the personal driver of Jonathan.
Right.
We would just go, okay, here's a guy who was just like a neutral party. He was inside the car during when it happened, and it was all her. It was all her quote. But he did something, man. There's something about that guy. You can see it in his face. As the closing argument from the district attorney, you could see the intent on his face. All right. He didn't get intentional. He got reckless assault.
Yeah,
when he was reaching for the phone, he recklessly must have hit her. That's what happened. They're filling in blanks. There's no camera video of that.
Oh yeah, and and no one took into account the fact that this man ran away from this woman. He spent the night at a whole nother place. So there was so much when he left her, she was not hurt. There was so much of a
Yes.
period of time where she could have gotten hurt that he doesn't know what had happened because he wasn't around her.
And he
He didn't.
said that.
Yeah.
He said as such. And then also remember, he's not guilty of assaulting this woman because reckless assault in the state of New York, in Manhattan, it literally tells you in the penal law, because I had it up, that they normally go for assault and they use this as basically a catch-22. So if I can't get you for intentional assault, we can rest our morals on reckless assault if someone is injured during said domestic dispute. So it literally says assault, but we'll get you for this if need be, if there's an incident. So and it's penal code 120 in Manhattan. So it was and that's why Jonathan, why he made it an emphasis when he said guilty, it hit him because he's not guilty of assaulting this woman or anything. And just to leave it at reckless assault and a city ticket, that's not even a crime, because the judge, I was there, the judge said this is not a crime, this is just a ticket, you know what I mean, time served on the ticket. So really all he was charged for was somebody finger getting hurt that he had no idea how I got hurt at the end of the day. So stop with the abuse stuff. Yeah,
because I saw her finger perfectly fine all night long for 3 hours.
When she was kicking it, she was doing the electric boogaloo. She was doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there was a point at the club. I don't know if you saw the video too, where it was like secret admirer, I've been watching, and then she was doing the whole thing, fingers, head. It was crazy how for like functional every single digit was.
Even when she got home. I mean, remember when she got home and she sat down on the bench right before she went in? Her hand was functional then.
Yep.
But I wanted to address, because I saw you put it up and you took it down. It said the comment by Rogue Comments, it said it still doesn't make sense that with all the evidence that's out there, more people aren't supporting him. That is because a lot of people take their information, and me being one of them, taking their information from these mainstream media outlets, and they want clicks and they want views. And what I've learned is that if it's something positive, it doesn't get the clicks and views. That if I continue to put down there, you know, he was convicted of a harassment, an assault. He was convicted of domestic violence. If he was convicted of this, they're not being very specific about what it was. And so when you have that continually going on, you're going to have a lot of people. They're not even going to go look at that evidence, because think about it. Rolling Stones never put that evidence in their articles or anything.
Not once.
Nope.
Vanity Fair, Deadline. No, they did not put that evidence that we saw from TMZ. They did not put that evidence in their writings of anything. They just act like it just didn't even exist. And then when people started to see it, everybody's like, now wait a minute. The way it was seemed to be described to me, that he was in there beating her up. And we see this man literally running 5 blocks away. Oh, that's not important. It's not important. She's laid up in the thing. Well, I'm just coming home. I'm called 911. You know, she put in text that she was going to prune herself from the timeline. And I'm thinking that she's pruning herself from the timeline. I call the police. Next thing you know, I'm in handcuffs.
And you know what's so to kind of, I don't think I told you guys this. So when we were in New York, we actually went to the Lafayette spot when all of this happened. Right from where the driver was at, where he got out, when he put her back in the car. I'm not gonna lie.
Hold on. When you said you were not with Jonathan when this happened.
No. We're talking about me, others, Danny, me, Danny, and people from the Jonathan Majors fan group, fan page. So we went out and we kind of looked, and Danny was like, "Yes, this is exactly where it's happened. Here's the Lafayette, hotel, all of this stuff where he ran at. We were all over in the area. You know how much traffic was out there just midday, and even going into New York, it was traffic like ridiculous. So I could just imagine him seeing all this traffic and why that makes way more sense when you're out there and you like, I can see why he put her back in the car. You know what I'm saying? She damn near, got hit because she was chasing them, and we seen kind of she would have got jacked up. like legitimately. You know what I mean? Because it was so much traffic when we were there. So I could just imagine that night.
Tasmanian devil, loose. Yeah, I see why he would put her in the car.
Yes, it makes sense why he put her in the car.
And he's a celebrity too. Do you really want to be
Right,
seen?
Yeah,
doing all that. I think after you get the scratches that you get on you, it opens you up to putting your hands on a woman. And when I say the scratches, I'm talking about this Exhibit A. We got bleeding pillowcase. We got him being scratched on the face on his cheek. You can see the red spot. It's not ketchup. Actually, YouTube, it is ketchup. And we got the scratch on his arm, and we can see the red coat. All of this happened.
That scratch. I'm sorry, Creel, but I put that picture back up because it's close. I'm seeing it closer now. But look at this. You see the little red mark scratch, right? Go straight down. You can see like flakes of skin that are pulled up. Wow. I didn't. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't see that one. I'm sorry. I just didn't see it.
And you know who else didn't see it? The jury. That wasn't admissible evidence. That was not allowed in his evidence. But he took a photo on his phone. They tried to say, this is using Pacific time on the iPhone. We don't know what time we're taking at. Man.
But they tried to bring out allegations that happened in London that are false. Never happened anything in London.
Forget the wrong time zone. Forget that. It wasn't even the right day. It wasn't even the right year.
Nothing. And there was no evidence of anything that happened. It was all smoke and mirrors. So,
wow, you're only smoke and mirrors. You know what else I was gonna say wrestling related? What Scott Hall said: bad times don't last.
Bad guys do.
Because I didn't want to pause the speech that much. It was a great speech. We're gonna go a little longer. I have nowhere to be, but I like to keep my streams about an hour-ish. Anyone who's listening right now, go on the live chat and tell us what we missed. Is there a point of the speech that reached out to you that we maybe need to focus on and talk a little longer about? Let us know.
But Pumalia is right. Those pictures are the actual assault.
Right. I'd like to talk about what we didn't hear, whose name didn't come up.
Kevin Hart, freaking who else? Who else did he do movies with? Everyone from The Harder They Fall.
He wasn't on there. Kevin Hart wasn't on that movie.
Kevin Hart,
he wasn't on the movie. But I was naming.
I guess I just expected
nobody from Creed.
Yeah, I expected his brother to he have mentioned that maybe he had talked to him behind the scenes, but he didn't.
He didn't mention on Mike. He didn't mention anybody from Loki or anybody from Marvel reaching out to him. Paul Rudd, Tom Hiddleston. He didn't mention anybody from
Matthew
Marvel.
McConaughey. White Boy Rick, right? He was in that movie, wasn't he?
Yep. So he didn't mention anybody, which it wasn't surprising because Tom Hiddleston had his little award or whatever, and he mentioned Jonathan. He mentioned everybody in the cast except Jonathan, who literally you play right next to, which already told me everything I need to know.
They almost all Penske Group publications. What does that mean?
Rolling Stone,
Vanity Fair, Deadline, all of them are owned by the same company.
Are you sure Deadline is part of that? Oh. And then we got DV Marks. Oh yeah, that's what that looked like. We Too Crazy. What's up, everyone? Hope all is well. Yeah, we're doing good.
Oh, Chadwick would have supported him. Bar no, because that was just Chadwick's character, so he wouldn't have had a problem with saying anything or about it because that's just who he was.
When would Chadwick could have spoken? Never. Let's not talk about Chadwick. When would be the correct time for these public statements? Like Anthony Mackie said, he's guy's innocent until he's proven guilty. He said that maybe like 2 months into this whole ordeal, and that's a fair statement to say. Nothing. He didn't really choose a side, but that's fair. That's fine. But it was the best he had.
To me, would have been the statement from everyone. Hey, we don't have all the facts yet. We want to wait until something comes in. But he's innocent until proven guilty, and we'll just see what comes from that. And that's it. It's a neutral statement, but at least it's like I would then turn and say it's cold. Like, hey, I see what's going on. I see what's going on.
Didn't the dude who played Arnez on One, didn't he get interviewed by TMZ? And they were like, "Is Megan good?" Because he knew her. Maybe it wasn't this actor. It was another actor. But they were like, Megan. It was him. And they said, Megan good. She's dating Jonathan. And he's like, yeah, she's got good taste. I trust her judgment. So respect to her. And
Columbus Short said the same thing.
Yeah, Columbus Short said the same thing. But he also said Jonathan was running like Darkwing Duck. And I can't get that out of my mind. I'm sorry, I cannot get that out of my mind now.
Yeah, he said pew pow.
Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous.
You're terrible. But get this man a shield. Get this man a shield. Time will tell, and his real friends and family will be revealed. You are right. A man always has to walk away when arguing with a woman, or run. If you go to violence, you can hurt or kill a woman, which any normal man will do. Walk away. Why argue?
Or run 5 city blocks.
Exactly. And people still have something negative to say about you.
Dude called he dialed 911 himself. I can't get over that.
Like, if I just got through, and I've said this from the beginning, since we first started talking about this, if I go and put boots to asses, the last thing I would do is call the police so they can come get me. Because look what I did. Like, it's got to be the stupidest thing people was running with as far as a narrative.
And I'm so disappointed in the jury. Because maybe the police didn't know everything, but time is told. You could see that she was sending text messages, even though she wasn't answering the door where Jonathan was trying to bang and try to get inside. She was sending text messages just 10 minutes earlier, so she's awake and she's faking it, and you're the member of the jury. You should be able to go, oh yeah, maybe possible. No, you know what? He did harassment and he did reckless assault. We'll give him the reckless one. Just be lucky we didn't.
And in fairness to the jury, after I've sat and listened to it for a long time, there were just things to me that was allowed in that it should not have been allowed. All that stuff that they claimed that happened with the Coretta Scott King tapes and all of that stuff, that stuff should not have been allowed in. Everything should have been stuck to what happened on that date. And I think from that, they kind of sat back and said, okay, we know he didn't do anything here, but he kind of may have done something. I mean, she was kind of hurt, but had they stuck to that day, and I think that's what he was talking about, all the evidence from that day would have shown you that that didn't happen the way it was. But they were allowed, and also the judge made some statement about GJ is going to give you the background history of what happened. And I'm like, that's...
Yeah, he said this is what really happened. Now everyone listen to Stephanie to hear what really happened. And he had a line like that we read.
Instead of there being a
non-biased...
Yeah, it just should, I mean, they could have made that statement in their opening arguments. They could have made a statement in their open arguments of what they believed happened. That but to allow for her to make this long speech about, oh, we met here, and she, all these little different things.
Has his speech been getting backlash?
Yeah,
hasn't been on Twitter, has it? From the Cosmic account? Maybe we should check that out next. Cosmic Marvel tweeted it, didn't they?
Okay, so I got mine from... I got to go back and look who I got mine from, because I sent it to you. Was it Cosmic Marvel, Pam?
Possibly.
I got it from Twitter. You sent it to me.
I sent it from Twitter. It was from actually the Hollywood Reporter. Chris Gardner was there.
Yeah,
that's who I got it from.
Right,
the Hollywood Reporter.
Chris Gardner. Yes, that's where the one that I used on my stream. That's where that came from.
Yeah, that's the one I sent you. Yeah.
But speaking, I'm just because I'm looking at my bookmarks. But I see this meme going around with Justin Timberlake's arrest, and like right up at the top in the corner, you see Janet Jackson with the kente cloth kind of hat on, looking at him funny, like
That was a time. That was a hell of a time. So, what am I looking for right now? Negative comments?
Yeah, even Deadline Puma, I would say they still omit certain things. If you go to the Hollywood Unlocks story about this speech, totally different story, and they put where he was charged and was not charged with.
We got Timothy saying, "So happy for him. Keep shining, Jonathan Majors. God has more blessing on the way for you to receive. He's speaking nothing but truth." And then there's this one here giving a little side eye. Proud Democrat, everyone. Proud Democrat. Remember, everyone. Vote Cornel West. We got "Oh Please" from Carolyn Hedges. There you go, Carolyn. Hey, just a few letters away from Karen. He's so humble. I'm happy that he got his reward and hoping he returns soon to be acting world. He's an incredible talent. Rashad says there's a segment of the population believe that shit he went through was bullshit, period, and the DA office in New York went for a payday to take him down. Congrats to him. Yup. The fucking ghetto. What exactly is he being honored for? These people are garbage. Hey, when I say people are colorless, it's not even a real account. Look, it's got 51 followers.
And it's at VG.
Somebody tagged us here. Cool. Oh, you weren't tagged, Pam. How you feel about that, Pam? You were not tagged by I Hustle. Not tagged. Tag, you're not it.
And now I Hustle.
You were muted. Say it again.
Part of live stream.
That's all right, because as long as you don't call me late for dinner, you don't have to tag me.
This wasn't streamed live. Like, we're live now. But that acceptance speech, to my knowledge, it wasn't streamed anywhere live, was it?
It was, yes. It was on it was on Zeus.
On Zeus.
It was on Zeus.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I was at work when that happened, so
I got the cell phone camera footage. It was fine. The audio was all right.
As long as I was all, my main concern was, what did he say? That was my biggest concern. What did he say? How did he say it? And again, I think you said this earlier in the stream. This ain't the ABC interview. That was real tears, real emotion, real raw emotion. Right. And he's still, even with the defamation case getting ready to come up, he still didn't bash her. He didn't say anything negative. This is what I've been through. You know what I mean?
That goes back through, and I said this on one of my videos. People were saying, well, no, he just needs to just be quiet and let it go for a year and, come back and everything. And that's fine. But here's the thing that I've always felt. He could be gone. You see Will Smith. It's been 2 years ago, and people are still bringing that up and talking about it. And I guess he gets his publicist to tell him not to say anything. But they're still going to bring it up. Even if he had laid low and he came back, it would be Jonathan Majors makes his first appearance after his
domestic violence,
domestic violence case, and they were going to bring it up. And so for me, it's just like, let's see the emotion. Let's see where he's going. Because people always talk about, well, he needs to take an accountability. Well, what I've learned is that accountability changes from person to person. Your accountability may be, I'm sorry. My accountability may be, you're sorry, but you need to go and mentor young people without doing some stuff. Somebody else's accountability is going to be this. Everybody's going to talk about accountability. And if accountability doesn't look like how you see it individually, you'll swear the accountability is not being happened. His accountability is, why are we talking about, oh, well, he doesn't need to be out here. This is his trained job.
This is job.
This is his trained job. This is what he does. We don't tell people who've done that they can no longer do their jobs anymore. They got to get out here. They got to work. They got mortgages and bills and everything like this to pay. This is his trained job. Let him get back to his trained job. One of the things that has touched me is the fact that because I put it down in the chat and I didn't know if I wanted to put it up in the thing, but just to hear bellow about his daughter, and I was like,
yeah,
seeing his
I don't
daughter,
get that. He barely talks about her.
and he just bellowed like that, and I was just like, this is a lot, and people don't think, they think these little things, and think it's funny seeing things, but look at all that he has lost. Not only if you're talking about film roles and maybe some money and a movie coming out, but personally, look what he's lost. Someone who has talked about his child and going to taking her to the movies and all this other stuff, and now that has to be, it's changed, it's different now, and to hear him bellow about that's saddening to hear.
Because one thing I always repeat Dave Chappelle, taking a man's livelihood is akin to killing him. And that's basically what Hollywood was doing when immediately after arrest, I get dropped by my publishing and management team. You know what I mean? I get dropped by these advertisements and stuff like that I've worked so hard to get in those doors to get.
The Army, the baseball team, the little the drink. What was the drink? What was it called? It was some beer. He was like doing a commercial for them also.
Some kind of thing. And then what really gets me is that you paid these people to represent you when things like this happen, and they just took your 20% and left. But
off of an arrest. That's how much trust they had. The police got this, okay? There's a reason why you were arrested, pal.
Right. Yeah, you know what's funny? You hear, that's what pissed me off when we were covering it, and you had the anti-truth. That's what they were saying. Hey, he must have had to do something. You know what I mean? So, and it's funny because I hear that a lot when it just comes to black people, whether you of our hue or not of our hue. Well, you had to do something. You wouldn't have got arrested for nothing. You must have did something.
Hey, someone just wrote about Jessie Wu earlier now, Jessie Wu, about what she was saying about him. Like, do you know who that is, that YouTuber?
No. Well, I don't know who that is.
I know who she is, yes.
Is it
here?
Somebody Photoshop John.
It's a year old. It's a month old.
Does she got a picture of herself in the background? Is all I need to know. She has a poster of herself in the background.
I'm sorry.
See, all this was during that
the
Coretta Scott King.
Coretta, bitch. I'm scared.
Meanwhile, the police arrest, the systemic injustice, the even if you're rich and famous, it doesn't matter.
Somebody Photoshop.
Like, she didn't pick up the lesson.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, but this is somebody who has a poster of themselves on the wall that tells me everything I need to know about the character and the mental capacity of that person.
She don't know nothing about that. Going to
You know,
court,
and-
nothing
and-
about
and-
that. Red hat, no, nothing about that.
One of the things
Going to
I
New
would
York
say-
on a plane trip on your own dime. She don't know nothing about that. Hey, get on back on screen, Dre. What is it, the parades? You were saying,
one
Pam?
of the things that I was, and if you look in this, particularly in this trial, and then I'm saying this to us, I'm saying this to my people, y'all let your logic come into play about certain things that happen, because all people heard was Coretta Scott King, and then all of a sudden, all of us were real protective of Coretta Scott King.
Mhm.
And when Coretta Scott King was living and all this other stuff, y'all didn't pay two sheets to this woman, and that's just real. I'm old enough to remember that. But everybody got all up in arms. Why would he say that? He told this white woman to be like Coretta Scott King. That's the reference that he has.
Why are black women excluded from examples that white women can be? Why?
Exactly.
Why can't we just have like a standard that is that you can be white, you can be a Coretta, you can be black, you can be Coretta. It's Coretta. The main point is, and when he explains it in the interview, uses it to Lindsay Davis. and uses it a second time because he already explained to Lizzie Davis. You would figure if you watched the interview, you heard him say it earlier, so now you know what he means this time. Nah, let's clip that. This guy's got a fetish, doesn't he? The Coretta Scott King, and here comes the jokes.
Right.
Which is sad because again, we can't blame white people for that.
Not exactly.
We can't say, "Oh, this is what white people are doing." White people, this is us destroying us. Make it fun. All of that's just so funny and it's just so clever or whatever. But don't have the mental capacity to say, you know what, this thing we just was marching just 2 years ago during the pandemic for George Floyd. Maybe I need to look at this arrest a little bit differently since we were already having these problems prior to. And I think that's what pisses me off when I see my people making fun and it's all jokes, it's all this, because y'all was the same ones bitching and crying about what happened with George Floyd and the injustice that was going on with black men and black women all over the country, getting falsely arrested, getting shot, all of this stuff since the Obama administration all the way up. And now Jonathan Majors gets arrested and it's jokes and it's ha ha hoo hoo. To some people. And I think that's what pissed me off about this so much, so
people should know better. There's still people like the Entertainment Tonight host Kevin Frazier. He was like doing good coverage of Jonathan Majors to his face, being respectful. There's a lot of people who just names they're not registering or they're not coming to memory right now. But there has been a lot of like good coverage. Jamie Foxx, I think, mentioned him during that speech at the AAFCA, African American Film Critics Awards.
Yeah,
that was good to see. It's there. There's
yes, absolutely.
Wait for and I think what I do love, what I have seen, and if you go through the blogs and if you are on that dumpster dive that we love to call Twitter, when that evidence flew out of there from TMZ, the shift,
it was immediate.
It was immediate because I do understand that there were jokes about the running and everything like that, but then things were not making sense. And going back to that comment about, well, how come people were still believing? Because again, those publications were not putting that information out. And like I said, if you're not watching or in those different things, there's a lot of people, particularly people my age, they'll read the publications and they're not on the interweb.
They still think this is about strangulation. Because that was the March 25th. So they're like, oh yeah, here's the Kang the Strangler one more time. Let's see what else is the headlines say that he's guilty. The headlines say he's sentenced. The headlines say he's.
And that's one of the things too that these publications were doing too. They would say, "Oh, well, he was convicted of this, but he was arrested," or they won't talk about the conviction. They'll say he was arrested for strangling. Wait a minute, what?
But he wasn't convicted of that.
Those things were debunked. She even said that didn't happen. Yeah. So what are we really talking about? And when when people don't have the information.
And it comes with half truths,
and exactly, it's hard to decipher. And then when you hear someone like us, oh well, you all are just this. No, we, and also too, things that were coming out of the trial, those first 2 days, and Danny tells us this all the time. Those first 2 days when she was on the stand, baby, you couldn't pull. There wasn't a seat to be had. As soon as she got off the stand and all the other evidence started coming through, there was 2 or 3 reporters and everybody was gleaning from those people, and they didn't even publish a lot of that stuff that came out. So sadly, people didn't get all the information. They didn't get all the stuff that we got because, again, Danny went to the courtroom. They didn't get all the stuff that we got. They just got Coretta Scott King, and they ran with that until the driver came, and then they were like, well, the driver couldn't speak any English, but he was speaking English, and all the interviews they did with the prosecution, he was speaking English, but they wanted to use New Yorkers' feeling about immigrants and people not speaking the language to me to upset the jury, like, oh my gosh, because this immigrant in here, and this man has probably been here, and he's probably a citizen, he's probably been here forever, but they did that. I mean, he knew enough English to drive people around. He knows enough English to be able to converse with you in an interview outside of the video.
Them cab drivers know how to know English very, very well. Trust me, we had to get some Ubers. You know what I'm saying? While we was there, shout out to Simone. You know what I mean? We had to go get an Uber. You know, I'm thinking, you know, I know I talk fast, and I wasn't going to try to talk fast with this guy. He understood what the hell I was talking about. He said, "Oh, so you gonna pay for a car tonight?" I was like, "Oh, well, then we go then. Let's go ahead. Let's go. This $100, this $100 Uber. Let's go, buddy."
You can categorize us. You can't categorize white people either. We all the same. I still don't understand why white people hate black people, bro. You put a Mexican or any other race together, we make a big party together and enjoy the moment. I'm not saying all white people, but the ones that have poison in their hearts, the people of colorless. Someone who said something earlier that made me think about saying something, but I don't forget what it was. And speaking, there was a comment here for $5. B. Smith says, "I love seeing black excellence. Thank you guys for building a movement." Yeah, it was by accident that Danny attended those and then came over here to talk to all of us and report to us. And
well, let me clear that record right there. Danny came into my live and she said that she wanted to go to the thing. And I said, "Danny, if you go, I will pay for your lunch." And she was like,
"You did say that. You did say that." And she went.
And you got her the first day or for day 2. You got her for day 2, I think. She did me once the day right after that, and then she did me on the weekend. And then when the trial was all done, we did it, and I got 15,000.
We're talking about interviews, people.
Oh yeah, she did me. Yeah, thank you. No, yeah, you're right.
See, only Dre caught that. I understood what you meant, chill. Only Dre. What is it? The brain?
So she interviewed with myself, and only 15,000 views went to that interview. That's not much. That's the people who know are not plentiful. I don't know what Variety's numbers are, but it's more than 15,000 clicks.
And you know what, y'all? I just want you all to take your hands and give yourselves a pat on the back, because the one thing that I did notice from that is how shook the
mainstream
Rolling
media,
Stones and the Varieties and all that other stuff, because 3, 4, 5 YouTubers with less than 10,000 subscribers are out here purporting information better than
they were reporting, killing them,
reporting it accurately as we were getting it out of the courtroom, and they're scratching their heads like, "Wait a minute, we control this narrative. How dare you come out and contradict what we're saying? We said," he talked about Coretta Scott King. Go ahead.
I will tell you this. Lauren Italiano does not look like what I thought in my head, but I meant when I seen her.
So the person who writes articles for Insider.
Yeah, the Insider, this Insider writer. She comes up, she's like, "That's Lauren Italiano." I was like, "Oh, okay. My name is Dre Mack. I have my YouTube channel." She's like, "I know you and Chillmonger. Y'all be reporting on our stuff." I said, yeah, let me get that hug real quick. Give me that hug real quick. She was like, "Yeah, I see you guys' videos." And I was like, if she's seen our videos, guess who else has seen our videos? Because when I tell you where I was, when me, Lori Italiano, and the rest of us were standing at, we turn around because somebody's beaming at us, and there's another person. Bob talking about staring us down from the opposite end of the courtroom, of the outside of the courtroom. So if Lori's seen our videos, then I know damn well a lot of other people have seen our stuff, because your interview, you got like 15,000 with Danny. I got like 12. One of those interviews. You got a good bump in your stuff, Pam. But all those views, when you pop them up on YouTube, when I pull up Jonathan Majors acceptance speech, guess who pops up? Chillmonger and Dre Mack, along with the New York Times, Variety. Our YouTube channels are in your search bar of Google. So they have seen our stuff, is all I'm saying. That's why they were so mad. They couldn't take it.
through us, there are other YouTubers out there in the world.
Oh
I
yeah,
saw
most definitely.
double
Dr.
toasted.
Hines, Tina was
Yeah,
talking
the
about
guys.
it.
Yep.
A lot of and one of the things, because this is what got me into thing. Do you all realize the number of lawyers that are on here who are either not practicing much or anything? How they were covering the thing and talking about this as well and stuff like that. Just just amazing, just amazing. And like I said, the media is used to being able to control the narrative, and that picture right there with her getting with Captain White Hat, Captain Saberho. That picture, I know for me on TikTok, I know I've got like 4 or 5 thousand hits on that one alone, just on that picture showing this stuff. And people are like, oh, what happened? People were interested in that. So it's just amazing to me. Like I said, give yourselves a good old pat on the back that people are looking at this information and getting the information. Because, at first it was like, well, you little YouTubers, y'all don't know the information. And then when you start talking about what happened in the courtroom, and everybody's like, oh, wow. How do y'all know this? Where are y'all getting y'all information from?
From the source, from the courtroom. What do you mean?
How did that little boy say? Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it.
Double Toast is a big YouTube channel.
And there was a guy who they had on who joined them on Discord, and he's like, no, you guys need to listen to Danny. I can't find the exact video of it, but you guys need to listen to Danny. And I'm like, oh, they're probably talking about my videos, right? Because I was in, or you're either one of ours.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, cool. So like the message is getting out. It may not be reflected just in my viewership, but it's probably more than 15,000. There's other guys with more popular than 808. Yeah.
Well, I would say this: when you Google anything Jonathan Majors, when it goes to the YouTube, the videos, your videos pop up damn near every time I've looked at a Jonathan. Like when I gotta go looking for a Jonathan Majors picture or something, so I can make a thumbnail. If I go to videos, your stuff is popping up. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the time. So I don't know it's because we've communicated or whatever, but I see your videos pop up on Google
all the time.
So all the time. So I'm just saying, and yours had a lot more, even Double Toasted. I don't see as much as theirs. You know what I'm saying? That I see is yours, and yours got way less views than Adana Publishing or Double Toasted, or however you pronounce that. So yeah,
Double Toasted is my shit. Yeah, they're cool. We good to go, guys? Everyone? Oh, SSJ is in the building. Jonathan's better than Kendrick.
Oh my God. When I get K, man, for you to have K-Dot Sanctum in your thing, and how hard you be going against K-Dot. Oh my God.
Majors is back. I agree with you, SSJ. We got Merciless. Merciless is coming in the movie theaters. He's gonna be filming in the fall, and then it's supposed to premiere at Toronto Film Festival, which would mean, I guess it's got to be a whole year later, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if something else can. We hear another announcement here coming up soon in the next, within a month. So
leading role, TV show, like what?
Just hearing something, hear another role coming up. I wouldn't be surprised.
Commercial, music video, like what could it be?
Actual movie.
If he gets another movie, I would love, and maybe it's just me, I would love to see a part 2 to A Heart of
Or They Fall. Yeah, because Trudy survives at the end of that. So treacherous Trudy. And I believe, I'm not saying because I don't know. He didn't tell me nothing about magazine. We didn't talk about that. But I believe Magazine Dreams will come to Hulu here very soon. One of the biggest pieces of that acquisition of Hulu is they could put stuff on there that normally you wouldn't want to put on Disney Plus. So since Hulu is now, has that beta tethering on there, you can go to Hulu and watch Magazine Dreams. So I believe that that's going to be coming really soon. Within the year, by the end of this year, we're going to hear Magazine Dreams is going to be placed on Hulu.
Oscar season is about now. They don't like to do Oscar movies earlier in the year because they don't want the Academy to happen in the memory. So that's why they release the movies that are supposed to get the awards right now.
Yeah, because all they have, it just has to It just has to be in the theater for 2 or 3 weeks, right? In order to be Oscar contention, it has to be in the theater for.
Streaming movies aren't eligible. What about
he got something?
Last Man in Scotland, or what was that movie called? That was a Netflix. That was
The Last Man in Hollywood. Talking about the last. The Last Black Man in San Francisco. You talking about that?
No. There was a movie by Martin Scorsese, I think it was, or The Irishman, or maybe it was. But it was on.
It
wasn't.
They were. It had to have been. It don't have to be in the major theaters. It just has to be in a theater. For at least a month or so. You have to have it at a theater in order to be an Oscar because it has to play at the movie theater.
Someone say, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, so it just has to get, it just has to be. I thought they were doing something. There was some kind of project with the Spike Lee that everyone was talking about.
He still got that going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's just
project.
For what I understand, he's already been in communication with them for a while. That's still going on. So, that's why I said there's some things coming down the pipeline. Just kind of keep your ears open.
That's the one. Spike Lee's the understudy.
Yep, that's still coming.
Okay. I knew it was something. Yep. And so if he's got that coming out, and if he's got this Merciless, I mean, I think that's real good to get your feet in, and maybe Whoopi and maybe him and Whoopi can do a buddy cop movie or something.
Jumpin' Jack Flash too,
something like that.
He's back
again. Doom.
Oh, I like this comment. Read it for me.
I bet you do.
Read for me.
I can't read. I'm sorry. I'm kind of dyslexic. Him follow to more for one.
Shut up. All right, go.
Chillmonger has an amazing YouTube channel. He is growing in. I want for more to follow him.
There we go.
Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button.
That's right.
And tell that helper that you can't stand to hit that subscribe button as well.
Yep. Are we good to go, everyone? I think we don't want to take anyone's time for granted. It is getting late too. Appreciate everyone coming, no matter what time zone you're from.
I'm just gonna go back and watch Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, on Amazon Prime to pop out and show what is it? The Ken and Friends pop out show. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. What? Drake, I don't know what you do. You are half of what you successfully use of your success. You are half of what you
go up. What does the guy say? He was whooping feet. Drake gonna have to go upstairs and smell feet.
Oh man, that's funny.
We're done. We're out. Appreciate everyone. Thumbs up the video on Dre's end. If you're watching on Dre's stream, jump over to my stream and give me a thumbs up, and vice versa.
Vice versa.
Just help us out in the algorithm, please. Pam Entertainment TV. It's spelled like this. You guys should check her out also, because she does videos covering everything we cover, Bad Boys, everything.
The movie reviews, TV shows.
I saw what you had to say about about this Merciless thing coming out. That was cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for him.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're still talking Compton Power Rangers talking on stage. You know what? You had me, because watch his videos. He just did a video earlier where he was like, "What about the gang members uniting? What's so good about that? We need to have gang members being exterminated. We need to have them being disbanded." And I was like, he kind of has a point there, doesn't he? We're all celebrating the Bloods and the Crips are together. Why not get rid of them? But then also, what if, I'm sorry to prolong this stream, but what if the members were using their power and camaraderie and leadership skills in the neighborhoods to better, and as opposed to doing life taking, which we can all agree is bad? And what if they were using their powers for good?
That's why Tommy the Clown was up there. But we just see Bloods and Crips. Yeah, we just see Bloods and Crips. That's it. We don't see the impact that they have in their neighborhoods.
You didn't see the young talent that came up there that we probably never would have been able to see. Anyway. Drake is fine. He will be fine. He just took an L. He'll be fine.
Right.
He'll be fine. He gonna come back.
They don't care about this in France. They don't care about this in his world tours. He's good.
He's got the records. He's got the plaques. He's got all of that. He's got worldwide acclaim.
Exactly.
Drake is okay.
Yeah, he just got wop.
This was just a friendly fade. It was a friendly fade. That's all it was.
Hey, but Whitney showed up at that show. That defanged him. YG showed up there, right? He really bangs a set.
Yep. His kids was there.
I saw Snoop Dogg did a video. Wow, the king of the West is Kendrick.
It's Kendrick.
Everything, and these are people that you were mentioning. Or you use the AI of Snoop. and everyone you think is with you isn't. Like Aubrey, you really, man, he not like us.
Bum, 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 bum. They not like us. They not like
But
us.
you know, I
They
saw
not
somebody
like
in that.
us.
That's a good move. You know what would be a good move for him right now? To go into acting again.
He actually has a project coming up with him.
Cool.
Dave Free is getting with Seth MacFarlane to make a comedy movie. So yeah, he got something coming up in the works too. Just seen that being announced. So, and he shot his video. They not like us video today. So
really?
that's why SSJ K-Dot is in a tizzy right now.
Yes, yeah, K-Dot is doing a video and they were doing it downtown.
Yep, and doing it in Compton, 131st Wilmington Avenue. Shout out to Compton, California. So yeah. Anyway,
Crenshaw and Slauson.
You would not say that if you was not there now.
Marathon.
Yeah, the word of Maritimes. Gay music videos. That dude's a hater. Now SSJ K-Dot is the biggest hater.
Walking around here like he was running and repping sets. I'm gone, y'all.
Yeah. And on that note,
Dre, chill, and stream.